human being reasons for going green. If we can help articulate those incentives, help align those incentives, we can do great things. So that's sort of my NGO message of collaboration.
Fantastic, thank you very much, Peggy. I suggest that we continue down the panel. So Arpin, can I ask you to speak next? Arpin, we're a disaster, President Director of PT Danayasa Artakatama, which is part of the Artigraha network. And obviously Artigraha needs no introduction to Indonesians, with fantastic displays downstairs, which I hope everyone has been to see, and you'll be taking a group of delegates on an exciting trip tomorrow morning. I'm sorry I can't join you on that, but if I can ask you to give us a 5-minute overview of Artigraha's journey towards being a sustainable business. Thank you.
Okay, audience. Good afternoon. We are here and we all know that climate change with the global warming have a negative impact in the crop yielding, decrease, ocean acidification, and the rising of sea level and ecosystem, and also the temperature of the earth. We all know it will have an impact in the food and also health stress for all of us in the world. Since we also know that the crop yielding have been impacted very much by the natural disaster. Just the moderator said there's a tornado in the US now. So very, very concerned about this. Then what should we do to cover all this thing? We have to make some guidelines for sustainable business in Asia. One is that we have to start from our own kids, how to teach them, how to raise them, how to manage them to love the earth, starting from the small things. You know, why I said that? Because I have a second daughter who is a member of WWF Youth Program. And funny story, sometimes I throw away the papers into the trash bin, and my daughter said, don't do that, because that is not the sport of papers. You have to do the other trash bins. That's why one simple thing that I have to let everybody, audience here, knows. And the other thing, coming back to Asia. Asia is predicting to 4.7 billion population in the year 2025. It's very rapidly growing and fast increasing in the population in Asia. In this case, you know, the consequences is the food, consumption and consumer. Because the characteristic, the culture of Indonesian and Asian countries is a middle up consumer. So it will be in fact, if we cannot change anything about the climate change and global warming. So we have to maintain this condition, and we have to be aware this global change, global warming, climate change will be make some disaster and health stress and malnutrition. Indonesia is a country in Southeast Asia with a population up to 238 million until now, and we have 17,508 islands. So besides the tropical climate in Indonesia, we also have a geography like archipelago. And 60% of this country is covered by forests. But, you know, I have to be honest to the audience now. 60% of our tropical forest is lost already. We are very concerned about this. And why? Because of illegal logging and smuggling. But something that I never understand, why the other world still buy the product from tropical trees. So we are very concerned. But at the end, in Indonesia, everybody, and I ask and I advise the media, especially in the world, Indonesia is just a victim of illegal logging and smuggling. We didn't do it. You know, how we can save the earth if our tropical forest is the second number of biodiversity after Brazil has lost? And who is going to make a replantation about this kind of thing? So I will suggest, and I will ask this forum, not to buy any single product from wood from tropical forests. I appreciate that. And going back to our company, Atagraha Network, the basic principle of our business, especially advancing sustainable business in Asia, we built a company not because of getting profit only, but we built the company and measure the company how much the company will contribute to the public sector. And 1 minute more, okay. I will introduce, besides of corporate social responsibility, we have do the reservation, the rescuing of endangered species, flora, fauna, in tumbling wildlife nature conservation. We rescue tiger, we release to the natural tiger, and just 2 days before, we just translocated 1 tiger and 1 crocodile from Bengkulu to tumbling wildlife nature conservation. And again, finally, I have to thank to this event, to this forum, and if I may suggest, please help us, because Indonesia is rapidly transitioning from a rich forest country into become pure forest country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arpin. And our final panelist then is Brett, and I'd like to give Brett another 25 seconds longer than the other speakers to introduce his shirt before he starts talking about Star Energy, his company, because there's an interesting story that I'd like to share with the rest of you. So if I can hand over to Brett, and again, 5 minutes, please.
Sure. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, everyone. I try not to focus on my shirt, actually, but the reason I wear it is that it has a wayang. The batik comes from Cirebon, but the motif is wayang, and my company, which is a geothermal electricity generator, runs a project called Wayang Windu in West Java, south of Bandung, which is the most efficient geothermal project in the world. So I like to wear something that represents Wayang Windu. It's the least loud of my shirts, actually. So,
thank you again.
In my few minutes, I just wanted to carry on the theme that the coordinating minister began with this morning, and look at the big picture, or the big story for Indonesia. And the big story in the context of what we're talking about is that this country produces 2.1 billion tons of global warming pollutants every year. So that's the number that we're looking, the government and all of us in a coordinated fashion are looking at reducing by somewhere between 26 and 41% within 9 years. Difficult task.